Okay.
Hi, Roger. I don't know your landscaper's name, but hello to you as well if you're watching this with Roger. I just wanted to give you a little tutorial on this fountain. This basin is 53 inches long, 32 inches front to back, and about 25 deep. You're going to want to dig a hole that size. You can see it's an oval. You might want to make it a couple inches more so you can easily backfill. And put the base on, you want to make the base compact and level. You might want to use stone dust or however you would do a paper patio. Just screed it off so it's completely compact and level. And then set it so that this lip at the top is above grade, because you don't want water, groundwater, to wash in there or to wash mulch in or whatever. So that should just be proud of grade just a little bit there. So, okay. Jason, can you show him the plumbing on this? I have these fountains set up here the way I designed it with a template. There's the silver marker pen on the black PVC grating. See the number 3? That's the third smallest column, or the third tallest column. Number 1 in the front for the tallest column. Number 2 is hidden by the hose here, but you'll be able to see I also have a little mark where the plumbing comes out. See that little bump out there? That just shows you where the brass fitting lines up. And so if you want to display this fountain exactly as the way I've designed it, which I think is pretty cool, then you've got that template to go on. These hoses I'll have to take apart, but you can see that this hose comes out of an access panel. This piece here is designed to allow you to get into the pump without removing the whole fountain. So the decorative pebble, you just move it aside or move it that way, and it exposes this panel here. And if I take this out, you can see the pump is down in there. I'm gonna have to take this hose off to do it. I'm gonna have to take the hose off anyway to ship it. So I'm gonna kind of deconstruct this so you can see the inside. You don't need a hose clamp on these. It's a braided tubing to shove it on those, on that barbed hose or barbed fitting there as far as you can. This will lift out. See, this has a leg on it to support it. And can you see that pump in there, Jason? Mm-hmm. If you get that pump toward the back, as far as it'll go, you don't want that to be sticking up in the air, because then your intake is higher off the ground. The intake is right here on the pump. So you want to lay that in as far back as you can go. There's just barely enough room for this foot to go down there between the filter on the pump and this cube that supports the whole thing. Okay, so I'll take this out. I'll just leave this together. When we pack it, that hose will be on that pump. It'll lay right in the back corner. This will go in. The hose and the pump cord, the electric cord, will come out of this little notch here that we notched out. Okay, so underneath here is one of these plastic cubes, which I've notched a little bit so that it fits in this basin. I'm going to go ahead and take this all apart. And this is the handle that comes on these brass ball valves. This way you can control the flow to each column. Now it should be set because we've already run this fountain. But if you want to change the flow at all, a little bit more flow, a little less, I'm going to pack this thing. I'll just put it in the pump box and you'll have that. Okay, great. Jason, you can push pause here. So here's the larger piece of this PVC grating. When this is in here and the access panel is in there, it pretty much fills up that space.
Make sure you're about the lip.
Yeah, and see this aqua block here, you want to leave just that much of it hanging out so that it catches the rim of the access panel. Okay, so I'll take this out. This aqua block has to be cut, notched here at the bottom. Oh, it's actually on the front side. See, I cut that out because it doesn't fit with that. There's a bump out there in the bottom. We've sealed up, there's a drain there that we've sealed with silicone so this doesn't leak. We've tested it. That won't leak, it's tested. But this thing drops in with that notch this way. If you put it in the wrong direction, it'll be too high. You want to put this box in so that it's wider than it is tall. Okay, that sits right down on the bottom, and that's what supports everything. Okay? So I think that's probably all you need to know. If you have any questions when you're installing it, feel free to call my cell phone and I'll talk you through any part of it. Of course, you're going to have to put decorative gravel over the concrete footings. I like to take the decorative gravel out beyond the perimeter of this so you don't see any of the man-made parts. Now you have here a box of 4 1-watt lights, and it's a real simple plug-and-play kind of a thing. There's a splitter that goes to each of the 4 lights. The transformer plugs into the other end of the splitter. That transformer gets plugged into the outlet. All right? There's a warranty on this. Here's your pump box. I will include the warranty card inside of here as well. And I think that pretty much covers it. So why don't I just give them a little tour, Jason, of the shop here.
And then you can tell them about the lights when you put them in and then cover it with stone. You know, you put them in before you put all the stone on.
Yeah, you're going to want to put the lights in. That's a good suggestion, Jason. You're going to want to put the lights in, kind of position them the direction that you want them to go, and then bring the pebble in around them, and that way you don't have to dig through the pebble to get the lights seated down where they need to sit. So anyway.
And then bring the cord out with the pump in there. This cord over here all together.
Yeah, we usually train the cords together and zip tie them, you know, and kind of hide them. But here's a big old feature. That guy is 85 inches tall. It's a big, tall one. Give you a little look of our showroom here. We got a slideshow playing of work we've done. There's a big 3-column grouping, real tall one. Some of the bowl fountains. They're nice for indoors. When light shines up through water that's moving, you get a flicker everywhere. Now the lights are on in here, but see that flicker in the wall? That's really dramatic in a dark room. And I'll show you the workshop. Here's a bowl fountain on a 3-legged stand that my buddy who has a motorcycle shop made for me. That's a nice fountain. We share our showroom here with the Brain Vessel Art Gallery. They're our tenants, become friends. They use the wall space here. Brought all these plants inside because it's going to go down close to freezing. Try to keep these tropicals alive a little bit longer, but got a lot of fountains in the works here. Some of this cool metal sculpture. Now I'll show you the workshop, Roger. Here's a big tall grouping that Jason just did the concrete footings on yesterday. That's set up pretty good now, so next week we'll take those off. This is a really tall one. That'll go to the Philadelphia International Flower Show. So here's our workshop side. A bunch of fountains here. This is kind of a rough space. And the other side's the showroom. And that's Jason. He's a good-looking guy, isn't he? All right, so if you have any questions about your fountain, the installation of it or anything, let me know. I think it's a beautiful grouping. Thanks again, Roger. We got the box built. It's outside. We're ready to ship this thing. Take care.